Okay, good morning and welcome to Mishna Yomi. Today we'll be concluding Terumos Perek Zayin, Mishna Zayin. I'll be starting the 8th Perek, Mishna Aleph. Start with Mishna Zayin. Zara, as Achas Mehen, Potter. Now we're talking about this case from the previous Mishnayos, where he has two piles of wine. One was Truma, one was Chulin. Well, I guess now we're going to talk, he's planting it, so it's not wine anymore. We're talking about, I don't know, grains, wheat, or whatever. One is Truma, one's Chulin, and he's not sure which one is which. And he planted one of them. Potter. The halacha is if it's Vadei Truma and you plant it, you have to remove it from the ground, right? And if you didn't remove it from the ground, then we assume that it's Truma, right? The Gedulim, the growth, Gedulei Truma, whatever grows from the ground from Truma. The seeds were Truma. Whatever the wheat that grows from it, it's also Truma. You have to treat it as Truma. Here, we're Safek, right? So you're Potter. Zaras Axman, Potter. It's Potter from treating it as Truma. We treat it as Chulin because, right? Amotzi Michael Raya, he can't be Motzi. There's no proof for the Kohen to get the money. Vashnia know about Truma. The second one, Misafek, we're not sure if it's Truma or not. So therefore, since we're not sure it's Truma or not, so it's Chayiv and Chala, according to a mayor, because he holds Meduma, Safek Truma is Chayiv and Chala, because it might be Chulin. And you have to be knowing Truma. This is Safek Truma. Rabbi Yossi Potter says, no, it's Potter and Chala, because he holds Meduma, Safek Truma is Potter and Chala, and we hold like Rabbi Yossi. Zara Acher, it's Ashniya. Someone else, a second person, was Zorei, the second pile of wheat. Potter, also he is Potter from right, consuming it b'shogeg. Right, we were talking about if someone eats it b'shogeg or he plants it b'shogeg, he's ruining it for the Kohen, right? To pay a karen and chomesh, as we're talking about, there's a safek, you don't have to pay karen and chomesh. The Kohen can't come collect it from you because of motzi mechav raya. So each person could be dolchem to the other person and say maybe he had the truma, maybe he had the truma, so you can't collect from either of them. Zara echad shtei, and one person planted both of them, so therefore it's like eating. He definitely ate truma b'shogeg. B'davar shezara kala muter b'vein davar she'ein zara kala aser. Now he already planted it, right? He has to pay back the Kohen, the pachash b'shnei, whichever measurement was smaller, whichever measurement of wheat was smaller, he has to pay back to the Kohen. What about the growth? You didn't take it out. You're supposed to take it out of the ground. You didn't take it out of the ground. The seeds, it grew. So the halacha is different for zaro kala and zaro eno kala. Certain seeds, when you plant them, you get something else, right? The seed is not. The seed is gone. It's the wheat. It's a wheat stalk. You planted a seed of wheat. That it becomes a wheat stalk. Nothing related to the seed. But some things like onions and garlic, right? When you plant them in the ground, in zaro kala, right? The seed is still there, right? It's still intact in the middle of the. If you look at the heart of an onion and the heart of a garlic, it's still really there. It regenerates. It's regenerating itself from underneath the karka. That's basically what it does. So if it's zaro kala, so it's mutter because it's something else. It's something else. So therefore, since it's something else, it's not called gedulei truma. Because it's meduma, right? We don't know which one. He was the one. He definitely planted both of them, but we're not sure, right? If it's from the one which is cool and the one is truma, so it's safek truma. So therefore, the gedula is not going to be usher. But if it's davar she'ein zaro kala, where it's still the zera is still there, it's not called gedulei truma anymore. It's like the truma itself. It's like the truma itself. Then you have to be machbir, and it's usher. You have to treat it like truma. Mishna Aleph in Perek. Ches Aisha Shaisa Acheles Betruma. A woman, she was eating truma. Above Amrula Meis Bailei Chol Gershech. They came and told her your husband died. Right? Either they specify a date where he died, or they didn't specify a date, or Gershech, or he divorced you, and a shliach makabel a get for her. Right? V'chena Eved Hayochel Betruma above Amrula Meis Rabbecha Machal Yisrael. An Eved Knaini who belongs to a Kohen, right? And he can eat truma because he's the Eved of a Kohen. They say your owner died. So you no longer need truma. He sold to Yisrael. Now you're the property of Yisrael. You can't eat truma. He gave you matana to somebody else, Yisrael, or he may have freed you, right? Then you can't eat truma. Or a Kohen didn't eat truma. Another truma grusha ben chalusa. He found out, right, that his parents, he was he was a chalal, right? He loses kedushas kahuna because his parents, his father married a grusha or a chalutza. He was a product of that union, so therefore he's a chalal, and a chalal is not a truma. It says in these cases, you're chayav karen v'chomesh. Rabbi Yeshua Poter, Yeshua also really holds your chayav and karen v'chomesh. Now we're going to discuss in a Mishnah when is he eating the truma? He's chayav and karen v'chomesh. Right? He's eating b'shogeg. So before the Edom come and tell him these things, or after it? But I think it's before. But we'll talk about more in a Mishnah. Like I said, you're chayav and karen v'chomesh. Even the stuff you ate before. because they said he died at a certain date, and you had eaten truma afterwards. You're chayav keren v'chomesh because at that time you weren't a kohen. You're chayav keren v'chomesh like eating b'shogeg. Eating b'shogeg, you're chayav keren v'chomesh. Yeshua poter. The Gemara says that Yeshua is only talking about a case where it's truma chametz on erev Pesach, where you have to get rid of it before 6 hours. So you have to get rid of the chametz. So therefore, since you got to get rid of the chametz, there is bol, and someone who's bol, the Gemara in Shabbos says your bol b'davar mitzvah, your chametz is a mitzvah. So therefore, you're potter from skila on Shabbos or chatas on Shabbos. Likely you're potter over here tashlumei truma to pay him back. He only don't makriv, but normally Rabbi Yeshua is maskim to Rabbi Lezer. He only don't makriv agavim his back. Let's say the kohen is bring a korban on his back. We know there's been grusha and chutz. Finally, he's a chol. Lezer omer kol korban asher yikriv agavim his back. So whatever. Right when he finds out, retroactively, all the korbanos, he was always a chal, he was born a chal, so all the korbanos, they're psulim. And only a kohen who's a kosher kohen could do that vodah. Yeshua is machshir, because the Gemara says, Baruch Hashem chelo pol yoder tirtza afilo chalol shabo. And chelo is dashan like chalol. Pol yodav tirtza. It's a reboy in the Torah. The Gemara is in Kedushin. This brings us Gemara. A special heter, the chal did avoda, but it's kosher. No, the shul bal mum, avodas psula. If he finds out that he's a bal mum, right? He has a permanent blemish and there's something. He has, I don't know, a fractured clavicle or something like that. I don't know. He has one of the movement and he found out that he didn't know he had this fracture. So then, retroactively, he's avodas psula. There's no heter, according to anybody, to machshir his avoda retroactively. That would be the conclusion of today's shir. Stay tuned for Mishna. We'll talk more about Mishna Aleph over here. And basically clarify whether it's retroactive or mikan ve'elach. You're not going to want to miss it. See you there.